Hi there. I have a very interesting handbag here to show you. And as the subtitle that I've written says, it's in the steampunk style. But the only difference is I didn't have to steampunk this handbag. It came like this. So it has that steampunk vibe to it. And I have noticed that my taste in handbag is slowly evolving. So I am actually embracing handbag styles that I never think I would ever wear or love. And so I think I'm open to change. So that's the thing. And I actually found this handbag from a thrift shop. When I first saw it, I just love it for its sturdiness and its structure. But I had to, imagine, I had to foresee myself, will I ever wear this? Or is it something that I'm going to rip apart for its hardware? Or sometimes I just look at a bag and do I see a potential in there? Because I've started doing do it yourself handbags, and sometimes I would take away the studs or rip the leather apart and do something else with it. So, and besides, I have no more storage space. It's just cramped. So I just had to give away a lot of handbags. So I thought about this and I actually put it back, and then I didn't get a single thing that day. So I was like, okay, whatever. I'm just gonna get it. And besides, this was very cheap. So I was like, okay, whatever. If I see a potential in there, I will get it. So I bought this. And when I first saw this bag, of course, your first impression is that it has brass hardware, very antique looking. And I even could not read what it says here, but there's like a crown logo. Is it a crown logo or something? And but I said this has a very unique style, so I said I'm just gonna get it. So this can be dual. This can be just a handheld bag. It would look good as it is, and it's a shoulder bag or crossbody bag. Of course, I'm petite, so I could always turn it into a crossbody. And of course, it has detachable straps. And I love it. It makes noise. It makes noise. And this is a very deadly handbag. Like, you could just hit somebody with it and they would really get they would really get hurt if you hit somebody with this bag. But anyway, so when okay, so I brought it home and then I started cleaning it and sanitizing it, and there was nothing, not there was not a lot of because it is such in great shape, so I didn't have to do anything. I just had to wipe it with a soft cloth damped in a damp cloth with a dishwashing liquid, and that's how I clean my bags. And sometimes I use the baby wipes, but this time I just use the cloth. And yeah, so, and besides, when I checked the interior of the bag, it was like, this must be something really special. It's not a chippy thing, because look at the interior. It's like corduroy. It's not corduroy. It's like suede, or it's the back of I think this is a cow hide. Yeah. Oh, see, it's so stiff. It's so stiff. It's like it has never been used. It's like this has been sitting in somebody else's closet all throughout, and for so many years. It doesn't smell either. It's such in great shape. There is nothing. There was no dirt. There was nothing at all. So I just had to wipe this because it was a bit dusty on the surface. And then I couldn't read this mark over here. And my husband said, okay, it's a Dina Jordan could be Dinah Jordan handbag. So I started Googling, and yeah, true to my suspicions, this is actually a vintage handbag in the 1970s. And that is actually the mark of her handbags. It's the hardware. It has an antique brass feel to it. It's well, yeah, it's like an antique brush. Brass sorry, brass hardware. Okay, and I just love it because it's uniform anyway, so you wouldn't know the difference if it's is it a rust or is it really like that. I think this is it, because some of the handbags that I've checked online, they all have the same. I just love the closure. The hardware is what drew me to this. Okay, so this is the front, and this is the side. This is the back. And does it have any fit? Okay, so you can just see it's just perfect. There is absolutely no wear at all. And the it's so stiff. It's like the Cambridge, but this one is stiff. But mind you, I wore this last Saturday, and I just love it. I think this is one of my favorite handbags, and it could fit a lot. Actually, it fit a lot, and it's not that heavy. It is actually very light. It has one. Have I shown you the interior? Yes, it's just plain like that. Actually, the suede looks like the interior of my Celine trapeze handbag. It is so stiff. See, I can't even straighten it out. So, okay, so let's talk about steampunk fashion. Okay, so there is actually a show on TV. It's called Steampunk, and although I've only seen one episode, and they just have very it's actually a call. It's fashion. It's like they would style something that okay. Let's just talk about steampunk first. What's steampunk? Okay, it says here it's a subgenre of a science fiction or science fantasy that incorporates technology and aesthetic designs inspired by the 19th century steam-powered movement. Okay, so you just have to. It's like it's in the Victorian era, so during the reign of Queen Victoria that ended in 1901. So, but when they talk about steampunk, the first thing that comes to mind is the gear, the turning gear, the gear, steam, steam, movement and things like that. So, and then the locks are actually it's just a fashion inspired by Victorian era, and then you just add anything to it. So there's actually no limit. They actually have a steampunk movement, and they are very big. They're on YouTube. I had to Google some steampunk inspiration there, and yeah, they would make on Pinterest. There was one that I saw. It's actually a handbag that was steampunked, and it's this one. Okay, so and the costumes and some DIY projects. Okay, that's something that I could never do because I'm not. I couldn't handle leather. I don't know how to do it. So, steampunk ideas. So they steampunk everything from clocks to goggles. So when they talk about steampunk, what comes to mind is what I would imagine is the Pirates of the Caribbean, their costumes, Charlie Chaplin with the long hat, and also who else? That movie that scared me to death when I was a kid, but I just love it anyway. It's a Johnny Depp movie, and it's called Edward Scissorhands. So they're just okay. So I had nothing to do with this. I mean, I didn't have to do anything. What I'm just saying is it has that steampunk flair to it. Okay, so I didn't have to do anything, and this is absolutely one of my favorite handbags because until now I'm still looking for the best and ideal handbag for me. and I think this is one of them. And which one did I say mention earlier? And the Lopez Taibo. It's just this one is very very secure, and it's just that you would have to sit down sometimes, and you'll get the hang of it. But I just love this. It's very very unique, and at the same time it looks so modern. It looks modern, and it's 100% vintage at the same time. So this was in the 1970s. So this is like 40, 47 years old, and look at that. It's just gorgeous. Okay, so you could find these items on eBay and also on Etsy and on Pinterest. And I just love this handbag. I'm so in love with this handbag. Okay, bye.